Hello. Hi, friends. Remember, wherever we're going with this, feel free to comment in the chat. It's good to see you guys. So we're going to do Thursday thoughts on Wednesday. My schedules are always off, and so sometimes I'm like, well, I'll just jump in on Wednesday so we have a little time. Perfect timing with all the crazy energy. That's why I'm popping on. I love crazy energy. So for me, what's happening right now is kind of like natural, like, oh, of course this is happening. Yeah, you know, and I know that we're not used to winning. And that's what's going on with all of you. You're not used to winning. So what's coming up right now is, I know you all know, we've got Mercury retrograde. Today is 1/11, by the way, January 11th. So make a wish, make an intention, make it strong, make it big, right? Because it's a very powerful, energetically, frequency-wise, numerology-wise, those are big dates. 1/11 adds up to 3, which is using your voice, speaking your truth, okay? So back to the topic at hand, Mercury retrograde, okay? So Mercury retrograde, you guys, is funny because people ask like, oh, it's Mercury retrograde, is it bothering us? Is this why? Is this why this is coming up, kind of a thing? Mercury retrograde it's testing you. It's not testing your relationships. So people are like, they're being difficult. There's an argument. This is happening. We aren't getting along. Is this going to last? I get this a lot. This is actually in the last 2 weeks of Mercury retrograde. Are we going to make it? And the answer is yes, you will make it. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with them. Mercury retrograde right now is in this communication dialogue with everyone, and it's asking you, okay? It's really testing you to see if you're going to live in your heart frequency, right? In your heart truth, or are you going to live in your ego truth? And your ego truth is your ego head. And that head wants to go from old program, you know, nurturing aspects of your personality, the programmed aspects of your personality. Doesn't make all of that bad or wrong. I'm just saying they typically are programmed at, we don't know how to have fun. Sickness, suffering, misery, sadness, depression, right? All of this stuff is happening. And so my point is that if you're going to get stuck in your head, in your ego head with your old programming and thinking that you're going to win right now out of the old programming, which is sickness, suffering, sadness, depression, like, I don't know how to be happy right now. I don't know how to win right now. And the reason you don't know how to win is because the ego programming, the mind, this is what Mercury is asking. Mercury is the planet of communication, of thinking, of teaching, of interaction. So when it goes backwards, it trips us up to go, wait, are you interacting how you want it to be? Okay, it's a basic. So when the relationships who are closest to you, of course, those are going to be a trip up in communication. And so when it comes to relationships, they're going to be the first thing to get you to awaken to what do you want for your truth. And as I've shared with you in the Truth Tribe, we're going to deep dive into this on Monday. So join in on Monday if you're not in the Truth Tribe. We're going to talk about deep diving into relationships from what I call the pain point, right? And so your trauma point. We all meet the person we are going to open up and grow with at our trauma point. And people don't like that answer. Like, I would never. I met him because I love them. And love is total bullshit. You need to look for trust and truth, not love. Love just comes. Love is built. Love is something you are. Okay. Anyway, I digressed a little bit there, you guys. So anyway, comment on some of these comments, you guys. But anyway, your relationships that are getting tripped up right now, right, are your trauma point relationships. That's where you will attract people from your sonar, your energy, or your frequency. So we attract people when we're out looking from that trauma point because we're not paying attention to that programming, the ego programming from 0 to 10 years of age that said, this is what love is, this is what marriage is, this is what relationships is. Or, you know, and we go to looking at that frequency and we go, that's the trauma point, that's the understanding point, that's what I will seek. Okay, now the cool part is how do you own your pain pillar because you want to awaken? And when you start awakening, you have to own that pain pillar, okay? And so instead you attracted them from your sonar, from that pain point, from that trauma point, okay? And so then when you start to awaken through that pain pillar and go, I don't want to have pain anymore. I didn't realize I don't have to be in misery and sickness and suffering and drama and conflict all the time, which is all you see in the news and in people and the social and everywhere. It's all conflict. Everybody's fighting. My point is you don't know any different. Okay. So trust is where you will grow from that trauma point, right? You have to trust your truth. You attract at your trauma point, and that's what you attract, right? That person, the relationship, so that they can trigger you, and they're going to trigger you into the pain pillar that's been holding you up, so that you can go to the truth. I have to trust that my truth, this thing that it's showing me, isn't about them. They're a mirror of me. They're just showing me, do I want that to be my truth? And so then that pain pillar awakens you and says, oh, I have to trust that my truth is my growth point. Trauma point, relationship, triggers you to say, do I want to grow into what my truth is? Kind of basic. Truth, trauma to truth, trigger. Truth, trusting that truth will get you to where you want to go. Truth is love consciousness, my friends. And truth being love consciousness is God source consciousness. And God source consciousness is love. But we keep going from what your programmed love is, and that's total bullshit. It's going to take you down every time because it's your trauma point. I don't care what it's on. Health, wealth, emotions, it's all a relationship for you. Okay? So the tip that I want to share really for you to open up to during Mercury retrograde, because Mercury is having you look at your relationships right now. Okay, are they foundational? Are they solid? Do they have a solid foundation to stand on? Right? What is the truth and it that's your truth right now, right? Is this my truth? Is this who I am? Is this what I want to live by? Or is what I'm attracting in the relationships in my life, those are my frequencies. So what is the frequency that I want to express? And people ask me like, well, how do I know what my purpose is? How do I know what my truth is? How do I know what these truths are? So there's 3 ways I always offer you guys. So I'm going to give you this so that you can get back into truth and off the programmed bullshit of trauma points. Because that's where you attract all the people in your life. You attract all these friendships, family, love, marriage, dating. Dating's a big deal right now. And I really get tripped up on the dating bullshit. Oh, I can't find the one. You guys, you could be deep in the Amazon forest, not a soul around, but your sonar is pounding, purging, sending out this energy, a frequency of available and love and connection and commitment, and they literally will be lost on your path. And you're like, oh my God, how did I find you deep in the Amazon forest? Because it's a total bullshit scam you've been sold of, oh, it's so difficult on online dating. Oh, there's no good people out there. I call bullshit. So there you go. So how do you figure out how to trust your truth? 3 ways I give you guys. 3 ways you can figure out how to trust your truth. You can go to your North Node, which is on your astrology map, which I share with you guys. If you don't know your North Node of your astrology map, you can go onto my website, go to tools, it says free birth chart. Okay, type in the info in there, it'll pull up a birth chart and it'll say North Node. That's your North Node. That's your purpose. That's why God put you on this planet. God gave you a plan, God gave you a blueprint, gave you a manual, a book, and most people don't use it. So if you don't want to do astrology, then don't. The second piece is, so North Node is number 1 option to go see, what is my actual truth with God? Because if you were sitting knee to knee with God right now, universe, source consciousness, and God said, hey, you live in your truth right now, or you live in the program bullshit from when you were a child of sonar and love? That's not real love. That's unhealthy love. Hey, are you living your healthy truth to go share your gifts with the universe and the world and the planet and all your people around you? And you're like, no, I'm not doing it, God. I'm not doing a good job. That's my whole point. So if you're not living that, go look at the North Node that you on that natal birth chart said, this is what I'm going to do to bring light to the world. You could be like my husband. You could be here to be a builder. You could be here like me to be a teacher. You could be here to be a gardener. You could be like my child and be the artist that she's amazing. I can't even draw stick figures. You could be good with numbers. Whatever it is, while you're here, that's the point. Okay, so North Node is, check that. If you don't know it, it'll be a fast, easy to go, oh my gosh, that's totally, I like that. I'll go do more of that. Do more of that. That's your truth. Number 2 option to see what your truth frequency is. how do you express your gifts to the world, is your natural mode. What is natural for you? Think of it that way. What is naturally easy for you to do? Reading an astrology chart is natural for me. Reading people, because I read from their soul and how beautiful they are and how kind they are, just natural for me. But sitting and doing numbers and technical stuff and detail-centered stuff, not my fun stuff. I don't do that naturally. It's not fun for me. So it's not going to be my purpose. All right? Number 3, what is your talent? What are you good at? Go do that and quit getting programmed to someone telling you you're not enough. You guys are all perfect and amazing and beautiful and so strong in your power when you're living your truth. But then someone tells you, go do this instead. This is how you do it. Here's the blueprint. No, you have your own blueprint. So again, free blueprint. All you gotta do is look at your North Node. Go do your free birth chart on my website. So today's freebie is go on my website, go to your North Node, or go look for your North Node. So IDeserveItNow.com, go tap on tools, you'll see free birth chart. Put in all your info and it'll pop it up on the screen. You can print it and read your first, it'll tell you right on the screen, North Node. You're looking for North Node. There's lots on there, right? But my point is that people are asking me right now, what is the truth, Dawn? And the answer is there are many truths. Yes, there is truth, but there is God's truth, source truth, love truth. And everybody's misunderstanding what love is. And Mercury retrograde is going, yeah, do you remember them? Do you remember them? Anybody on this call right now, pop in or give me a comment if people from your past have popped in. Relationships, memories from relationships, past friendships, past BFFs, business experiences from the past that you had and you're like, oh, that didn't work out with them, and then it popped back up again. If anyone's experiencing that, that's this Mercury retrograde having you look at relationships. And it's testing you to see if you're going to live in your heart truth or your head truth. Head truth is bullshit. It's lying to you. It is programmed and it is never going to give you your highest good. Got it? So this is my point. I'm trying to get you guys to understand you don't have to overthink any of this. Don't get tripped up by Mercury retrograde. You're going to get paused. Remember, Mercury is not no when things slow down. It just means slow. So slow down. So what's happening is Mercury is not testing your relationships. Old friendships are popping up. Yes. Are they good or bad, Connie? Are you like, oh man, not them again? Or are you like, maybe there's something I'm missing here to reconnect? Because nothing is right or wrong, good or bad. But I love that she shared that. This is interesting where old friendships are popping back in to reveal themselves. Yeah? I think that's pretty cool, if you ask me. But, oh, good. Yeah, isn't that great? That's super, super cool for me to hear that, because that's kind of what's been happening for me too. Old projects that I had been working on that I thought, I'm not going to do that. They were already built and I just never did it. And now all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this is fabulous. Like it works so good. So it can be literally your relationship with your work, your relationship with your friends, your relationship with spouses. Spouse stuff is coming up quite a bit right now because we're looking at, is your foundation cracked or is it stable? So don't get mad at your spouse. Your spouse is just showing up, testing you to see if you're going to live in your heart truth or if you're going to live in your head truth. And your head truth is telling you old business opportunities are coming back. This is awesome, right? I'm the same one. It's Fred. Old stuff coming back from business is coming up for him. It is for me too. And I think that's super cool, right? So my point is Mercury retrograde isn't, I know people get all tripped up with Mercury retrograde, like it's bad, right? The planets aren't doing anything to you, my friends. They never do anything to you. The moon, the full moon, the planets, Saturn, Mercury, they don't do anything to us. They just send waves of energy. And then you decide to get on the wave or you get in the wave and then it turns into a chaotic storm. It's your choice to trust the energy and say, oh, so this is for me to look back and see, am I living in my heart truth? This makes me happy. Or, hey, this isn't a business deal I want to do anymore. Or, hey, I want to leave this. Some of you might be leaving your job, leaving a relationship, or ending the way you had a relationship and starting a new way to have a relationship. Marriages are kind of stepping into a new reality. So thus I go back to Mercury retrograde is testing you to see if you will live in your heart. It is not bringing people to you to test them, right? It is testing you, not your relationships. It's testing you to see, do I want that business? Do I want that new job? Do I want that new company? Do I want the new contract? Do I not that old friend? Do I want that new relationship? It's testing you. It's testing you in a really good way, right? So anyway, I'll go on and on about this because this is kind of one of the things I love about astrology, right? I am launching some new events, just so you know. Zodiac Wheel is your medicine wheel is on my website. It will be up in the actual shop, so you can go research the 4 hotspots, North Node, Saturn, Chiron, and your moon. Some of you have taken the course, some of you haven't. That'll be on there. It is for some of the people in the Warrior Pass. If you want it right away, sign up for the Warrior Pass and you'll have access. And you can go take a mini class from me and learn all of them after you do your chart for free. If not, I am teaching the IDI Academy. That's also on there in your Warrior Pass. So sign up for the Warrior Pass. You have access to all this blueprint information, how to look at your programming, how to look at your blueprint, how to look at all this on many digital courses, or I'm doing them live in the new year. So in a couple months, they're coming in. So you can sign up already if you want. But that's what's happening. So you can either take hold of your life, take hold of the challenges, understand your personality and understand how you'll get pulled, these relationships, or you can say, poor me. Well, you know I don't do victim mode. It's a total bullshit mode you've all been programmed into as poor you, sickness, suffering, sadness. It's a bullshit story. Nothing is happy in the external world because you weren't supposed to be. And now when you get out of it and you choose your truth, God truth, love truth, the whole game changes. All right? So don't get caught in the external, you my friends. You got about, what is today? The 11th? 9 more days of Mercury retrograde and this whole thing will kind of slow down and you'll get back into forward motion again. So take the time to review what's in your heart, what's in your truth. Go look at your North Node. Go write down what your natural and talented mode is, and you'll know exactly where to go. I will see you on Monday for Truth Tribe. We'll deep dive more into relationships and your trauma point and where the trauma point came from and how it's starting to kick in and asking you what is your growth point, which is truth. I love you all. I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Brightest blessings. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.